Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 of the Team Liquid Legacy Star League round of 8. Oh man, yesterday we had some really exciting matches, slightly one-sided, but I think today is going to be another great day, Elegant.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, you're right. Yesterday was a little bit one-sided at times, but I think today's going to build on the strengths we saw yesterday. We saw plenty of exciting play coming out, and today, if anything, is definitely set up to be much closer than yesterday was.
Indeed. So let's take a quick look here at all of the matches we had yesterday. We saw South Park versus Skyline and Michael versus Terror. If you haven't watched those yet, mute the sound for 30 seconds. I'm going to spoil the results now. Alright, so Skyline did 3-0 South Park in a pretty crazy series there, especially that third game with a massive eraser.
Oh god.
And Michael 3-1 Terror after going down or losing the first game, going 7-pool Sunken Rush, and then just taking out Terror in the next 3.
Yeah.
So that was those games, and hopefully everyone is now unmuted and has returned. And today we're going to be watching eOnzErG versus NeMu first, a Zerg versus Random, followed by DeWalt versus Zeke, a Protoss versus Zerg, our last Protoss in the tournament, Elegant.
Yes, indeed. And I have to be rooting for DeWalt in that one, but it's going to be tough against Zeke. And in this one, I think I'm going to give the tip to eOnzErG against NeMu. NeMu has proven himself to be a capable player against what I've been saying from top to bottom of this tournament, but I think eOnzErG just has that edge in quality and in consistency to be able to take down NeMu here. But we'll see. I mean, NeMu representing some nice racial balance in the tournament, so, you know, a little good part of me hopes that he can go through.
Yeah, that's a funny point. I mean, in racial balance, does NeMu count as like any race? So if we run out of Protoss, we can just say, oh, well, we'll just make him play Protoss from now on.
No.
Do it that
if
way.
only, if only, Sale, because, you know, I would love that. I would love that safety blanket right now. But, you know, just got to put it all in DeWalt. Just got to put it all in DeWalt.
Well, he's got to take out eOnzErG anyway if we're going to use him like that. And that is going to be the first match we're watching. The first map is going to be Neo Jade, same map order as... well, as the other 2 series we saw yesterday.
Yep. So yeah, once again, we're going to be starting off on Neo Jade. It's going to be a little bit of crazy reverse ramp action, and hopefully it's going to bring us out some exciting games. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys bring. It feels like it's been a little while somehow since I saw eOnzErG properly in action. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he played on the first day of the... Wait, no. I can't remember anyway. It's been too long.
Exactly,
a day without StarCraft is a day too long.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can pull out. And NeMu, of course, always a character. What will we see? Will we see chat rushes? What crazy things going to be going down today?
Man, alright, so a bit of backstory about this match. Okay, first, anyone who watched the round of 16 knows that NeMu unexpectedly advanced over Bakuryu, in fact, taking him out in the final game on Fighting Spirit, where he actually was a little bit BM to Bakuryu. Which rubbed some people the wrong way because, of course, Bakuryu is a very popular player, very mannered guy. And I know that eOnzErG is actually quite good friends with Bakuryu, so eOnzErG was actually saying that he was hoping to play against NeMu and knock him out of the tournament. So this is kind of his chance to do that.
Yeah, this is Bakuryu's revenge by proxy. Not literally by proxy, because that'd be ridiculous. Imagine a Zerg proxying, but, you know, by proxy.
Michael did it.
Well, yeah, I say that after only yesterday we saw it happen.
Oh, we gotta be careful not to spoil too much
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
All
God, I'm gonna slip us. Okay.
Oh, and one more other cool little tidbit that I'd like to share. So NeMu was so confident in in all of his matchups that he actually let me choose what race he was gonna play. See, for round of 16, I think he asked Epoxide, because Epoxide was the only person who picked him to advance from the round of 24. So he was like, you know what? Screw all these other TLS stuff. Epoxide, you're the man. I'm gonna let you pick my race for the round of for the round of 16. And then this time for the round of 8, he decided to ask me to choose his race.
Oh, so privileged.
And not only that, in his PM, right? He sent me a PM on like Monday or Tuesday, and he's like, Sale, I don't even care. I'm so good. You can choose my race. I'll win with whatever race you want. And you don't even have to tell me until the match. So I'm not even going to practice. You can tell me the day of the match what race to play, and I'll just play it and I'll win. Like, that is the level of confidence right there.
I just don't see that going well. I mean, this is the round of 8. How can that be? How can you even get the balls together to do that? I mean, we'll see. And, you know, if that comes through, then all credit to him.
Yeah. Well, I did tell him early, so hopefully he did practice a little bit.
Yeah,
I did tell him to play Terran, by the way, so he's going to be playing TVZ against eOnzErG. So we can have a bit of a mix-up of the matchups today, a TVZ and then a PVZ. And hopefully we have some really good games. So, having said all of that, Elegant, are you ready to see the first game between eOnzErG and NeMu?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. And here we are in game number 1. At the top right as the purple Terran, we have NeMu BG, and at the bottom right as the yellow Zerg, we have IFU eOnzErG.
Yep, these two guys are going to be squaring off on the magnificent Neo Jade, sporting up some cool reverse ramps, some obvious third actions, so we'll see how this plays out. Once again, another map where I hope to see good map-specific stuff coming out from these guys. I almost made my first screw-up of the night, ladies and gentlemen. At the beginning of Game 1, I almost hung up my Skype call with Tail when I tried to unmute my microphone, so that would have been an epic, massive fail to begin with. But, you know, didn't happen. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with this, by the way, as we go along. Just anything that nearly goes wrong, you can think, wow, thank goodness we don't live in that alternate universe.
This can be part of the TLS drinking game. I think there's a drinking game going on, right? It's like whenever I say something weird or something, I don't know. People have all kinds of crazy things for drinking games. So now, whenever Elegant almost does something to break the TLS cast, then you can take a drink, take a sip.
Yeah, and I'll be sure to let you know. You guys are going to be wasted because you don't know how many times it almost goes apocalyptically wrong in here in my bedroom every night. So, you know, well that sounded wrong, but you know what I mean.
Good thing nothing bad happened in the beginning, because we've already got some action here. NeMu going for the 8 racks at his natural straight away. Now, I believe this is exactly what he did against Michael on this map in the round of 16 game, because he played the first match against Michael here. And I think they were actually even same positions. So NeMu did an 8 racks. Michael, I think, went for an overpull or something, so he held it off very easily. And then Michael went for a slow drop, which is very effective on this map, because you can see the main is kind of surrounded by this high ground cliff.
Yeah.
So that was a really crazy game. And I'm curious to see what eOnzErG does here.
Yeah, that slow dropping action really interests me, and you can see why it's a very good map for it. And also, I often get the feeling though that the mineral line is quite susceptible to meatless grass. I don't know how strongly you feel that, but because there's no real space for missile turrets behind, really around there, I feel that Zerg has a lot of options on this map against Terran especially.
Yep, I definitely agree with you. But I don't know. I mean, if with NeMu going straight for the A-Racks, maybe he doesn't even want to let it get that far.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm thinking.
He's facing a 12 hatch here, which is kind of exactly what he wants, and well, it's basically pretty standard for the Zerg as well. So eOnzErG, I don't think should be too concerned about the 8 racks. He should have faced this many times with his 12 hatch and know kind of how to deal with it. Basically, just got to pull a few drones, maybe try and intercept some Marines here and there, and just prevent them from getting into a bunker, basically. And you should be okay. Maybe lose a couple of drones at most.
Yeah. But we're about to see how it plays out. I mean, this is something Eon will have seen before. For anyone who's not quite sure where they're watching, this is not anything too crazy. Eon will be well drilled against this. So immediately we see him pulling the drones, pulling all of his drones, in fact. So this is some real cause for alarm for him. He should be able to easily defend this, hopefully without taking too many losses. Drilling to his opponent's mineral line, very sensible as well. He looks like he's going to lose 2 drones right away, though. Hasn't even managed to grab a single Marine yet, losing 3 drones so far. This is getting really quite bad for Eon. He needs to drill those drones back and start taking care of that next Marine. 4 drones going down. This is getting seriously bad for our Zerg player already. He's losing a lot, and this is definitely paying off for NeMu at this point. And he's just continuing to rally Marines over there as well, not feeling at all set back. Okay, now he is pulling back as the Zerglings pop out, but that was quite damaging.
Man, I thought that was an overreaction to pull all but 1 drone.
Me too.
And then it turns out, so I was like, oh, he pulled a lot of drones, that's an overreaction, but that means he's probably just going to crush this easily and then go back to mining. And somehow he lost 4 drones. I mean, that was really good target firing by NeMu, not only microing the Marines away, but also making sure to focus fire specific drones to take them down. And taking down 4 drones there is absolutely huge, in combination with all the mining time that eOnzErG lost. Oh man, he's going to not lift his barracks though. The Lings are coming in. Oh, he's building a depot instead. Okay, I think that might be tight with the cliff where the barracks might not be, so that's probably a better idea. But still,
Yeah.
slightly dangerous here because that's a lot of Zerglings.
That run by could still happen though. I mean, Eon's looking kind of tempted. It looks like he's going to go for it. The slow lane run by going through. There are only 4 Marines on the bunker. It looks like he's going to be able to surround the bunker, not going for the run by at all. He's going to try and take the bunker down. Looks like he's going to be successful. And there are only 4 Marines in there. They will all get taken down quite quickly as long as there are enough Zerglings left. The Zerglings going to be chasing those Marines back down the bottom of the ramp. The SCVs are having to drill out. And now it is NeMu who's the one who's in trouble. Will the Zerglings be able to get through? Most of them do get through. Almost able to take out all the Marines. 1 Zergling survives though. And the SCVs are able to clean up, cancelling both his buildings. Cancelling his supply depot rather at the front in a quite interesting turn, deciding to put it further back. But that kind of went a little way towards levelling some of the deficit, although I'm not quite sure if it was entirely enough to undo the previous damage, given that he didn't grab any SCVs.
Well, the funny thing is that even though he's not doing anything else, he's actually continuing to do damage because NeMu wasn't sure if he's continuing to make Zerglings, so he left his SCVs by the bunker for a little while there until he was sure it was safe.
Yeah.
And now getting the Marines in, but eOnzErG was just completely droning behind it, so gaining a slight little extra advantage there. But I mean, let's have a quick look at the drone count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 7 on the minerals in the main.
It's not terrible.
About 1 per patch in the natural. Yeah, so it's not that bad. I mean, I think his economy is probably still a little bit behind, especially with the natural command center almost finished. But yeah, definitely equalized it slightly with that Ling attack.
Yeah, I mean,
the academy at the front, that's kind of curious. Haven't seen that before.
Oh, huh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe it's one of those weird, really good SimCity buildings, like a spire, but that you'd never use for a SimCity, you know? Perhaps, I don't know. But NeMu clearly thinks otherwise, so...
I don't know, you can SimCity with a spire and ZVZ sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the spire's just weak, that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
it's
it blocks
HP for
with everything, but it's weak. It's such a double-edged sword. Such a dilemma for any Zerg player. But yeah, the Academy immediately flashing away, researching the stim, and it looks like eOnzErG sending out that drone. Where is that drone going to? Could it be possibly going for some kind of hidden base shenanigans?
Yeah, that's curious. It must be, but where's he actually going? Is he going to go to the top left main?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. And, huh. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I don't really see any reason for NeMu to actually check over there. When he eventually checks the bottom left main and sees nothing there, he might get a little bit suspicious. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's not a bad idea at all. And the thing is, even like it's a hidden base, right? But even if it gets scouted, if the Terran has to push over there, he's going like completely away from the Zerg's main base, and that allows a lot of opportunities for counterattacks and things. So if the Terran sends his whole army to take the third, then the Zerg can just counterattack the natural and just kill him that way.
Yeah, look at eOnzErG's tech as well. Look how he's spreading out. He's got the Hydra stand up at the top of his base and the Spire down at the bottom. So I guess he's hoping that only one or the other will be scanned. I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing he wants the Spire to be scanned rather than the Hydra stand, because that's quite odd tech placement for the Hydra stand. So I'm not quite sure where NeMu scanned. I've heard a couple of scans go down so far. I would imagine it's one in the natural and one in the main.
Yeah, I think it... Well, he's not actually getting lurkers, so... Oh no, he is getting lurkers! Okay, so yeah, you're absolutely right. He did actually want the Spire to be scanned and not the Den. Sorry, the lurker tech was slightly delayed, which confused me. He didn't actually get it as soon as his lair finished, maybe because he didn't have the resources because he built the Spire as well. So man, this is going to completely fake out NeMu here if he just, as you said, scanned the main and the natural, only saw the Spire and was like, oh, okay, I guess he's going 3-hatch Muta. As one would expect. I mean, lurkers, you know, it's not the greatest map for lurkers anyway. You know, you were saying in the beginning of the game how the natural is very easy to harass by Mutas. So NeMu's like, oh yeah, he's playing completely normally, but he's actually not. Oh, and look at this! NeMu, sorry, eOnzErG's actually not using his larva right now, even though that doesn't make sense if you're not going mutas. He's pretending he's... Oh wait, no, he is getting mutas. Wait, what the hell?
He's saved up from Mutalisk, but I doubt he's going to make any more. I think he's just going to have this one slew of 9 Mutalisks, and then that's going to be it. I would imagine he's going to stick there and just transition directly into Lurk Attack.
Oh man, I totally thought that was like a super fake, where he's saving larva even though he doesn't need to, just so that when he gets scanned again, it looks like he's going muta still.
Yeah, I mean, it would have worked though, because NeMu scanned directly on the Spire and he scanned directly in the natural as well, conveniently missing the Hydra stand entirely. So it would have actually worked out had he been doing that crazy fake, but it wasn't quite that far ahead of the game. We see one Hydra up in the top left-hand corner already morphing into a lurker, so this seems to be quite a kind of safe variation, if you like. Although it does depend on him not getting too badly outnumbered, as can happen with this kind of build. And those Mutas just scouting around trying to get some free hits now as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna duel with the. Whoa! Silly Overlord, what are you doing over there? Yeah, so the Muta's just gonna duel with the Marines a little bit. It looks like he's not gonna be too aggressive with them. excuse me, he's actually built a couple, or he's built one more at his natural. Okay, there we go. It's gonna rally over now. So he actually is building some mutas. So yeah, just a relatively early Hydra Den there, which is not terrible. And now just following up with the standard Queen's Nest and Evolution Chamber, gonna go for that Hive Tech, get some nice upgrades for his units. Presumably Carapace, I think, is the normal one you get first here in TVT. Meanwhile, in NeMu's base, he's going up to Starport here and gonna be getting some vessels, just going for some standard bio action here, 4 barracks in the base. And looks like the first siege tank on the way. That feels a little bit slow to me, so presumably he got 3 or 4 racks and then the factory or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he did get the racks up nice and early, and so that means he just sacrificed the siege tank timing just in return for a slightly greater marine count. It's a little bit of a risky maneuver to be transferring drones all the way across the map, and that's interesting. Is it worth it to transfer drones that far, really? Because think of the mining time you lose on the way over there.
Yeah, I wouldn't transfer that many. Basically, only ones that are like left over from the main. I mean, you can see the saturation actually in the main and natural is quite good. So transferring a few of the leftover ones or the extra ones is probably a good idea because you know, after basically 2 per patch, the efficiency goes down quite a bit. Anyway, oh man, these Mews are going to fly headlong into the Marines and going to start doing some micro here on the high ground, but it looks like only grabbing 1 Marine before having to run around here. This is a very big medic Marine force, but it's kind of going towards the bottom left where the Terran expects there to be a 3rd, but the SCV here didn't actually see it, so he's actually busy looking for the Zerg's 3rd right now. He doesn't actually know where it is.
Yeah, he has absolutely no idea. He knows that something's up, but I think once he gets there, he's going to be unpleasantly... Oh my god, Mews taking some nasty hits right there. I think he's going to be unpleasantly disappointed if he does eventually stop and scout in the top left-hand corner, because he's going to find 2 lurkers, at the bottom of that ramp, which is of course going to be almost impossible for Marines to get down through because it'll just absolutely skewer the bunch of them. So that's going to be a little bit of a nasty surprise for NeMu right there. And eOnzErG looks like he's going to be able to get away with this because of that early lurker timing. He's been safe there for quite a while, and it looks like this lurker timing is actually paying off for him, although he didn't necessarily need it anyway because his mutilators seem to have been quite effective anyhow. And he's now going for the Great Spire as well, so let's hope this works out a little bit differently than the play we saw yesterday.
Indeed, I think it will, and it's actually quite nice the way the spawn positions work.
Tupac lips out.
Oh, poor Tupac. Every time, man. I don't even know why he bothers to join the games anymore. Oh, it looks like random overload getting picked off here in the middle. But yeah, what I was saying, the Guardians, the natural here is kind of facing eOnzErG's main, so he can build the Guardians here right by the natural, and they won't actually be that far away from his main base in case he needs to like provide emergency backup with Scourge or whatever. So so he's gonna probably be a little bit happy about those spawn positions. Anyway, it looks like NeMu's finally figured out there's a 3rd here at the top left, so he's sending his army over there, but as you said, there's a couple of lurkers at the bottom ramp. I thought there were 3 lurkers here, so it's possible that one of these is actually 2 lurkers stacked on top of each other, because you can, of course, borrow units directly on top of each other.
Just turned away in time. It looks like he's actually going to commit to this. NeMu looks like he's actually really going to go and get down that ramp. I think with pure Marines, it's going to be a little bit ugly unless he does some kind of running by action with a couple of them, but he's kind of toying around with the idea, but yeah, I don't think that would be the best shout.
Yeah, he's going towards the natural instead. I'm looking at this formation. I'm wondering if the Marines ran directly downwards from the lurkers, if he could actually break that. If there were only 2 lurkers there, I feel like he might, like with insane micro, be able to do that. But he's not going to try, and there is actually a 3rd lurker there now for sure. Yeah, so that would be very deadly. But look at all these lurkers here at the natural as well. It's going to take an extremely long time for the Terran to break that, and Defilers with the Swarm will definitely be out in time. I mean, consumes over halfway done right now. It shouldn't take too much longer to finish.
NeMu's going to have a nasty surprise in the meantime as well. If only what just happened? And okay, NeMu throwing away his science vessel. That's not the best move, especially not when there are Guardians morphing outside.
Oh, he forgot siege mode.
Oh, NeMu!
No wonder he's laughing. I'm like, what's he laughing about? He can't siege down the sunken lurker defense because he forgot siege.
Nothing to be laughing about. He has nothing to be laughing about. Guardians are sieging down his natural expansion as we speak. There is nothing he can do about this. He needs a Radiate to deal with this, or he needs a Wraith. He needs something.
Dude, they're all stacked though. One Radiate will hit all of them. He can
no.
get a Racer. See, look, they're all stacked. He's not splitting them. Why is he not splitting them? Guardians, run away from each other. Do not.
Oh god.
Oh, that went badly.
Yeah, what is it with Guardians and getting irradiated this weekend? Good god, they're expensive units. I've seen Lings get more care taken of them than that. That's ridiculous. Meanwhile, eOnzErG pushing out through his own natural under the cover of Dark Swarm, so it looks like finally he's going to be able to force NeMu back a bit. And eOnzErG really got a bit lucky there that NeMu managed to somehow forget his siege tech, because otherwise this Guardian loss would have been an even more major hit, and his natural would have been in a lot more trouble a lot earlier. So I think he's got a little bit of a lucky break there, and he's easily able to hold on to the top left-hand corner so far, although I now only see one lurker at the bottom of that. Oh, that's because he's pushing up. Okay, not one of them. Okay.
Well, the question is, which one hurt Eon, or which one is worse, forgetting your siege mode for a bit, or losing like 6 Guardians for no good reason?
Yeah, that's the question we need to be asking. And I think the answer will become apparent when we see who wins the game, because both of those are major deciding factors in the outcome of a match. And these lurkers now dashing out, going to be borrowing down. It looks like NeMu's not going to be able to move back. That first siege tank might be able to save the second siege tank. Just saves the second siege tank on 17 HP and is able to pull that back into the relative safety at the bottom of that ramp, although the bottom of the ramp isn't necessarily the place we want to be. The lurkers continue to push forward. I have a feeling that eOnzErG is going to be able to make a significant breakout right here, and NeMu needs to be ready for this, but he doesn't look like he's got many reinforcements waiting in his natural. He does have a dropship just starting to head on out. He's going to go to the bottom left-hand side corner of the map and maybe up to the top left-hand side corner and try and do some decent harass on that base finally, which has been pretty much undamaged so far. But eOnzErG definitely is going to be able to maintain control of that big ramp, which will lead into a nice easy 4th base over there on the right hand side.
Yeah, and we can see the 4th base just being taken right now. And with the Nidus Canal there, it doesn't even matter that it's cross-map anymore. eOnzErG can basically instantly transfer units over there, where for the Terran he has to kind of decide which way he wants to go. But he's got 2 dropships heading into eOnzErG's main right now. One of them's going to get immediately taken out by a Scourge. The other one's going to go in. It doesn't have a medic in it. But while all that's going on, it looks like there's a big engagement with the main force. Not that many units in the middle of the map. I don't know what's going on with NeMu's macro here, but he just doesn't seem to have a big army at all. And the drop in the main is going to do a little bit of damage, but he's actually way behind in the supply right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with macro in general in this game, because NeMu, on the one hand, has no money. eOnzErG, on the other hand, has lots of money, but apparently more units as well. So I'm not quite sure how that really figures out. eOnzErG doesn't seem to be spending very well. Is this replay broken or something?
I certainly hope not. But considering that Tupocalypse was in the game and asked them to save the replay, it could very well be. You're right, that is a ridiculous amount of money for eOnzErG.
I mean, he's not making that many units, so I wouldn't be surprised if that were true. But that is a huge, huge macro deficit.
He's saving for ultras, dude. He's saving for ultras. It's fine.
That's the curse of playing against Zerg. They can macro badly for about 15 minutes and then boom, just win because of it. We have some irradiating action going on in the top left-hand corner, natural. Trying to get some edgeways in there, but not doing too well at doing that so far. We have a bunch of Lings coming in towards NeMu's natural as well, but all of those getting cleaned up. Really not too much of a worry. There's Lings being pretty fleshy against the right kind of units. We have 5 bats and Marines ready and waiting there, and now more irradiate going down the top left-hand corner as well. I think soon NeMu might be able to bust in there.
Yeah, it's still going to be very hard with the with just a couple of Defiles and Lurkers there. As you said, he basically has to rely only on a Radiate, and I'm still trying to figure out if this is actually bugged. I don't think it is. I think eOnzErG just somehow did a crazy stuff in macro. Oh, nice double D matrix here on those 2 units. 13 kills on the Firebat. It looks like, just a single kill on the Marine. Got completely kill steal. What's the past tense of kill steal?
What?
Kill stolen? Kill stolen?
Kill stolen? I don't know. Is that it?
Anyway, that was an awesome move. Bonsu would be proud. And that Firebat's just going to keep getting kills. Alright, finally getting taken down. And a big stream of units pouring out of NeMu's base. Looks like he's finally adding some more units. I don't know why. His money seems to have been low the whole game, but he just doesn't have very much army somehow. It's very confusing to me compared to eOnzErG, who kind of has so much money and is just kind of barely holding on with just enough units to actually defend.
SCV count might have something to do with it. We've seen NeMu sporting a pretty low SCV count all the way through the game, and weirdly enough now his third base he has a bunch of idle SCVs sort of clustered around one of the mineral patches, looking utterly useless, all hanging around for a tea break. But I think NeMu's low SCV count could have had something to do with it, and he's now continuing to push towards the top left-hand corner, but he still really doesn't have that many units. I think that eOnzErG, if he's careful, can get rid of this, although this is not the definition of careful. We have a bunch of Lings running in, killing literally not a single unit.
Double drop though, Elegant, at the 3 o'clock base. There's a couple of Lurkers there. Is he going to scan it? Yep, there is the scan. He should be able to take that down very easily. Did that dropship just die for no reason?
No, they were Scourge.
Okay, I totally missed that. I was like, wow, did that just spontaneously explode? But no, it looks like The Lurker's getting taken down, a bunch of drones getting taken down. I think the base is going to get taken down as well. Meanwhile, this, oh my god, so many scourge taking down the vessels! Oh, every single vessel going down. Meanwhile, a counterattack at NeMu's third base with a control group of Lings. Nothing there to defend it, so he's going to have to lift that off, but he has taken down a 3 o'clock base at least. But man, this base, I think, is much more important to NeMu than that base was to eOnzErG, because eOnzErG still's got 4 bases. He's also taken the 6 o'clock. And he's got a lot of money anyway.
No, I think that's really, really important to NeMu. Not only that, but the SCVs are important to NeMu as well. He can't really afford to lose that many and then still be able to land that base down and for it to be in any way efficient. So he has to make sure he saves those SCVs as well as he possibly can. And no doubt that base was crucially important to him. And it looks like he's going to have to abandon it for now, whilst eOnzErG is expanding pretty freely down on the bottom left of the map. And yeah, NeMu's going to start getting pretty badly behind if he can't start to do a little bit more about eOnzErG's slowly expanding but nonetheless expanding economy.
Which is just spawning pool though, Elegant. He's also killing all the drones in the main base. It looks like eOnzErG is just not paying attention. He's too busy microing his control group of Ultralisks here, and there go all of the drones. There goes the spawning pool. No more Lings will be able to be made. Meanwhile, looks like the 6 o'clock base is getting scouted, and also there's a hidden base at the bottom left, but it's scouted by a bunch of random overlords there. But it looks like the Greater Spire might go down as well here, so a lot of damage on both sides here. I'm not actually sure who has the advantage. I think still eOnzErG is still in a decent position just because NeMu has almost no mining.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's really, really strange, but I think that's got to be the case. I don't know quite why he was bothering to micro all those Ultralisks when he should have been saving his main, because as we know, Ultralisks are pretty good at looking after themselves. NeMu, meanwhile, trying to sneak a base in the bottom left corner. That is not going to happen. He's right under the nose of a whole bunch of Overlords, which seems to be taking refuge down there, so wouldn't hold out too many high hopes for that. Finally, the drop in the main is cleared out. That was really a pretty meager drop with pretty significant returns. eOnzErG probably should have done a better job of clearing that out a little bit sooner. Now he's looking like he's going to move up to the 12 o'clock base with a little bit of lurker harass. I wouldn't imagine that's going to get too far. There is a little handful of Marines and Firebats waiting, but having said that, it looks like the lurkers are actually going to be able to make all the way in, but not too keen to burrow down on the other side of things and all get taken out without firing off a single shot, so a little bit of ineffectual harassment there. With the Defiler, that
look at the Ultra Train!
Oh, that's unpleasant. Where are they even going?
I love how he also just cleaned up a drop of 8 Marines with 8 Ultralisks, just complete overkill.
Well, everybody knows that that's the ratio. You need a 1-to-1 ratio of Ultras versus Marines, otherwise your army just...
Oh, we could have an eraser in the main. We've got 2 random vessels here. They're going to find a bunch of drones that aren't actually mining, so they'll just run away if he tries to erase them. But, oh man, the Ultra's going for a counterattack in the main base, but it looks like the main has or natural rather, but the natural has a ton of units here, and they're going to be fighting in a choke point here, so I don't think this is really going to work. Meanwhile, it looks like a few random drones running down to the 6 o'clock, going to get chased by a single Marine, but there's no way this big Ultra Force can actually get through here just because of the narrow gap.
What? No, this is a really, really bad idea. eOnzErG, what are you doing? This is a great way to waste a whole bunch of Ultras. He wastes 2 before realizing it's a fruitless endeavor. One of his Ultras gets irradiated, 2 of them gets irradiated, so he really needs to take better care. I mean, I know he's still got cash in the bank, but Ultras are expensive no matter how much money you've got. You need to be more careful than that. Now going for the top shot. This is a much more sensible move. It looks like he's going to be absolutely easily able to demolish that base right there. There's one medic doing what little it can in the SCV line, but it's going to be able to do relatively little. A lot of SCVs going down. The CC is lifted off once again, and NeMu's economy is ailing. I mean, he hasn't done too bad in holding out here, but he just hasn't been able to gain any real ground in terms of bases or step on eOnzErG's bases that well. And eOnzErG's economy is just continuing to grow and grow. And with Ling reinforcements coming in here, this could actually be the death blow for NeMu. It looks like eOnzErG is just making ready to pour units in from every corner of the map, and those Ultras are starting to look very, very scary indeed. One lone Marine remaining in the natural expansion of NeMu, ready to hold out with that bunker as well. And a crazy block with medics. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but now taking down the SimCity. I think this could be curtains in game 1.
Oh, he went for battle cruisers. What? Why are there 2 battle cruisers on the map? What the hell? Where did these even come from? I don't understand. Meanwhile, NeMu with a counterattack at the 6 o'clock is going to kill all the drones, but I don't think he can hold on to his main base. How did this happen? Why did this happen? He had so much money in the bank. I guess he thought he'd make battle cruisers, and they're actually quite effective against the Ultralisks. The problem, though, is that he's got no more economy left. He's about to mine out his natural. He can't hold the 3rd base. Even if he holds off these Ultralisks right now, just look at the minimap. Look at how much stuff eOnzErG has. And GG from NeMu with the BCs.
Yeah. I can't help but feel that the BCs were symptomatic of not taking the last stage of the game entirely seriously. I think it had been a while since he really felt like he was in with a shot there. He did what he could with dropship play, with harassment, with trying to be patient and break in the top left-hand corner, but in the end he wasn't able to make any real headway at any point against eOnzErG. Probably the start of that sort of downward spiral was when he forgot to make siege tech and left eOnzErG's natural unharassed for too long.
Yeah, that was a pretty crucial mistake, but I don't know. I mean, eOnzErG's play just was really, really solid. I think they actually both played really well. I was actually surprised. I mean, NeMu, for a guy who kind of just would randomly play any race and not practice, he's got a pretty good TVZ. So,
He has. I'm actually very impressed.
And really excited to see how the rest of the series goes.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. Should we get ready to move on?
All right, so we'll be back with game number 2 after a quick break. Don't go anywhere, guys.